Welcome to coming home to yourself, a space for curiosity, exploration, and remembering who you've always been.
Hello, friends. Before we begin this new series, there's a few things about me you should know. First and foremost, excuse the appearance. Literally unable to sleep tonight, which is bizarre for me. And after tossing and turning for hours, Source just finally said, get up and do some work, record. And so here I am. So literally got into my office, sat down, pressed start on the record button, and it was 4:44 a.m. And if you know anything about spirituality, and if you're new to spirituality, you don't need to know anything. But 4:44 is alignment. So well played, universe, well played. But so here you get me. I've thrown on a shirt so that I look at least semi decent and just threw my hair up. So this is what you're getting. So getting back to before we begin this series, a few things about me you should know. First of all, I swear. Kind of like a trucker. No. I'm not really that bad, but I do swear. And so if swearing offends you, I am not the person for you. And listen, that's okay. No judgment here. Seriously, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. I feel deeply, I care deeply, I'm passionate about the things I talk about. And sometimes when I'm speaking passionately or I'm talking about intense feelings or emotions, I use strong language, which is swear words, because, well, that's what they were fucking designed for. So if the occasional F bomb is going to make you clutch your pearls, feel free to see yourself out now, because then I am not for you. And that's okay. No hard feelings. Honest to God, always do what feels right and true for you. I am certainly not judging. The second thing you should know about me is I live with brain injury, which means I sometimes lose my train of thought. I mix up my words. Sometimes, I know what I want to say, but, my brain injury decides that for, whatever reason, words are currently unavailable at that moment. Kind of like a website that's temporarily down for maintenance. That's sort of my brain. So you'll also, from time to time, notice that it looks like I'm reading from a script because, truth be told, sometimes I am. But the thing is, the script is mine. The words are mine. They absolutely 100% are mine. I spend a lot of time and energy creating my material and my scripts. So the words are mine. But because I know that I sometimes have difficulties and challenges, and sometimes my brain is like, we're not working right now, Pam, I script what I'm going to say. I've also learned that when I don't write down things and have something that I can visually follow, I very easily wander off into 17 different side quests and forget what I was talking about in the first place. So, you have been warned. If me appearing to read from a script is going to be bothersome to you or triggering to you, again, I am not for you, my friend. And that's okay. There's somebody else out there for you. And now, the third thing you should know about me is people rarely leave me and don't know how they feel about me. Okay? People either like me and love me, or people can't stand me. I am not for them. And that's okay. That is okay. I have come to accept that. And listen, again, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, just as everybody else is not my cup of tea, right? You are not going to like everyone that you interact with. What I've come to learn and understand about myself, okay, backing up. Somebody once said to me in the spiritual community, they said, Pam, you, my friend, are both the lighthouse and the lightning bolt. Lighthouse, lightning bolt. And honestly, I didn't know what to think at the time when they said that to me. I was like really confused, and I was like, back up a second. What does that mean? And what this person explained to me they said, if people see you as the lighthouse, they see you as like safety, a place, a guide to help bring them back to themselves, to their healing, to their joy, to the connection within them. If you are the lightning bolt and they see you in that view, it's because you have activated them. You may have triggered something that needs to be brought to attention, something that feels uncomfortable. And listen, again, I get it, right? I have met people that are triggering to me as well, right? And who wants to be uncomfortable? So if you find yourself walking away and going, I'm not really sure how I feel, then let me know in the comments, because you would be one of the few people. Because generally, I'm telling you, it's like either I help people feel validated, supported, loved, heard, safe, or sometimes like people say to me, it's like you finally put into words something that I've been carrying for years and didn't know how to express. And well, the other people, they leave uncomfortable because they're activated. I've activated a wound, a belief, a fear, a truth that's asking to be acknowledged. And listen, I've learned that both things are okay, because here's the deal. I'm not here to tell you who to be. And if anybody is giving you the message that they're telling you who you need to be, you should really question that person's role or energy in your life. Because I'm not here to tell you who to be. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. And I'm definitely not here to create copies of myself. My only goal is to invite curiosity, is to invite reflection, conversation, and maybe even once in a while, challenge you to look at something from a different perspective. Another thing you should know about me is I don't spend much time at all judging people. I have this gift and ability to meet people where they're at without judgment, right? Because it's not about me. I genuinely believe that each and every single one of us is doing the best we can with the awareness, with the resources, with the experiences, and with the tools that we have at the time. And that doesn't mean that accountability doesn't matter, because it absolutely does. But accountability and compassion can exist together. And in fact, they really should. I've had people tell me they think that I'm arrogant. Like, she thinks she's better than everybody else. Look at her out here spouting her stuff. That's fine. I kind of laugh because that's the last thing I'm doing, is judging people. And I think part of the reason people think that I'm judging them is if I have a different viewpoint of them, as them. And now listen, if we're talking one-on-one and I'm holding space for you and you're sharing something about yourself, or a decision or a thought or a belief that you have, or you're seeking validation for your experience, I'm going to sit with you and I'm going to validate that. And I'm not doing that from a place of judgment. And I could totally disagree. And I don't even know if disagree is the right word, but I can totally sit and hold space for you and validate a choice that you make, even if it's the opposite choice that I would personally make. Because again, it's not about me, right? It's about, can I hold space for you and allow you to express and feel and explore without judgment? And then again, really, who the fuck am I to judge anybody, right? I mean, I know I'm awesome. And I tell people I'm fucking awesome. I know my worth. I know my value. And I know today to walk in places where I feel good. A little bit of a tangent there. See, I lost my train of thought. So, going back to my script. I think I'm fucking awesome. Awesome. But I also think that you're fucking awesome too. And listen, those two things can be the truth at the same time. Believing in my worth certainly does not take away from yours. And believing in your worth doesn't take away from my value either. Because I honestly believe that each person has value. I think every single one of us brings something meaningful to this world and unique. That's ours. What I bring to this world is different from what other people bring into this world. But it's different, but it's equally important. All of our voices are important. All of our gifts are important. And I truly, truly believe that, well, we all have value, even though we have differences of ideas or opinions or thoughts, and that's okay. So, if there's one thing that I hope you learn about me, it's this. I don't have all the answers. I'm still learning. I've been on a personal growth learning path essentially my whole life. I'm still growing, I'm still healing, I'm still figuring things out. I'm simply someone who has spent years exploring what it means to come home to myself. And if anything I share helps you do the same, then I am grateful you're here. And that is the reason that I am creating this series, Coming Home to Yourself. Because many of us don't know who we are. And I say this from a place of somebody who has recently begun to understand and come home to myself. And it's been a process, and it's been a journey, and there's been highs, and there's been lows, and there's been tears, and there's been joy. But underlining all of it is this peace. And I want you all to have it. So that is what this series is about. This series is not about me telling you how it should be or what you should do or how you should heal or what you need to fix about yourself. Because frankly, I don't think you have anything to fix about yourself. What I'm here and what my message is to help you come back to who you are. Who you are, who you were before society told you who you were supposed to be, before the roles of your family or the experience of your life put you into categories or roles that told you who you were. And listen, if I'm being honest, the more that I explore spirituality in my healing, I do a lot of trauma work. I'm still a social worker, mental health. I'm a trauma-informed educator. Like, I kind of meet at the intersection of all of it. And I truly, truly believe that the way our society is designed, our systems, our norms, our expectations, they're kind of ass backwards from what our natural spiritual soul needs. And it takes time and the ability to explore with curiosity to understand what has been placed on you, whether it was through societal norms, through family experiences, through generational patterns that have been passed down for years and years and years in your lineage. It's about learning how to strip away that baggage, those roles, those expectations, those things that were placed upon you, or in some cases, as in mine, that I picked up due to trauma responses. I picked up roles. I stepped into places in order to keep myself safe. And really what I want to help you do is get to filtering out through those roles, understanding where they come from, and then starting to see what is left underneath. Because the what is left underneath is who you truly are. is what your soul wants you to reconnect with so that you can sing and grow and expand and truly, 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 truly live. All right, so let's begin.